Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Kickoff Labs live marketing chats. My name is Izzy Palmerin. I'm a marketing expert here at Kickoff Labs. This week, we're going to be reviewing landing pages. So once again, thanks everybody for joining us. We have a few people in the chat, so thanks a lot to Donna Kaka. Sorry about that if I pronounced that wrong. Guest. If you can please let me know via the chat that you can see my screen. Right now, I should be sharing just like the actual page, like the live landing page reviews page itself, and that you can hear me. Just like a simple yes would really be helpful. And please excuse the noise in the background, just in case you hear some banging. There is some construction happening right next to me, like next door, so I do apologize. So please don't be distracted by that. But please, okay, awesome. Thanks, guest. So once again, like I mentioned, we are going to be doing landing page reviews. So we'll be jumping into those reviews in just about a minute. I just want to give people enough chance to like press play, make sure that they could see and hear me correctly. It looks like Ryan and guest already can, so that's good. So I have a ton of pages that we can start jumping into as far as reviewing, but obviously we usually give preference to those people who are here during the chat. And so we're going to start reviewing people who have submitted their pages. And as always, we would love to make this as interactive as possible. So please, I mean, if you do have any questions or comments along the way, feel free to leave them in the chat. If you even have comments on somebody else's page, maybe you think that they could change something to make it better, go ahead and leave that in the chat too. This is meant to be as interactive as possible, and we're trying to help each other out get the highest conversion rate possible. So with that, let's go ahead and start with the first page, which DK actually sent in for us. It's highresolve.co. And then we're going to be moving on to Ryan's page and then Donna's page and so on from there, okay? And once again, I'll mention if you did submit a page for review, please go ahead and leave that here in the chat. And we'll be going through these in order, okay? I do have a whole bunch more. I mean, just to give you guys a little idea, boom, I have a whole bunch of pages that we could go through. So let's start off with HireSolve. So hiresolve.co. Okay, looks like a pretty good page like so far. It has a nice design on it. There seems to be like a good strong focus on like the actual copy. So let's read the actual copy and then I'll talk about a little bit the actual design. So it says introducing HireSolve. Okay, get hired by solving real problems in business. Alrighty, so I would imagine, obviously by the name, it's a hiring platform. Resumes are ineffective. People can fake resumes, but they can't fake real skills. By solving the listed problems, you demonstrate to your potential employers how good your skills really are. Great. Okay, so I mean, it's basically just kind of meant to be straightforward with the actual copy, but I'm still kind of wondering, like, how are you actually like testing people's skills? What I might do, like I'm kind of wondering if I click the I'm a job seeker call to action, is that going to take me directly to a test where I can start like testing my own skills and seeing where I'm actually you know, where I would be best employed. So I guess kind of like rewording this a little bit better, where you could just easily tell people exactly what they're going to be telling by solving the listed problems, because you're saying the listed problems. Right now, I'm not seeing any listed problems. You might want to say, by taking a simple test, you can demonstrate your potential, you know, you could demonstrate your potential to your potential employers how good your skills are. So something that's slightly throwing me off as far as like design is that there seems to be a lot of font styles on this page. So first off, we have this like introducing HireSolve. I'm wondering why you're not just using a logo. In a lot of cases, it just works simpler, but by just like building your brand by placing a logo here directly above your actual headline and your copy. Instead of saying like introducing, maybe you don't have a logo created. Instead of saying introducing, just say HireSolve. I mean, it makes it like it makes it feel a little bit slightly more established. Even if you're a brand new company, it just makes it feel a little bit more established. So like placing that logo and just focusing on just only hire solve, it's going to help for brand building. Let me clear my page a little bit. And I was mentioning like the different sizes. So we have one size headline, we have another size here. Your call to actions seem to be like slightly smaller, and then we have this bottom text here. I would just mainly just make sure that you have maybe like 1, 2, 3 styles of text, and this font even changes to here. So like it's a different font style completely. So that just kind of throws off the actual page. And as far as element styling, it feels as if that, I mean, you have a pretty good call to action here on the side, but it feels as if that like the weight of the page is kind of off balance, where you have your navigation here towards the top right, but usually, you know, people do read from the left, so it's good that you're placing your headline and your company name here towards the left, because like I said, people start reading from the left. So it's a good strategy, but for some reason it just feels off balance with all this empty space here and here. I might try placing these call to actions and this like and this somewhat privacy text, placing it here, and not giving people so many options to click things. I'm sorry, it's kind of looking kind of messy, but not giving people so many places to click. So right now there's a dual call to action here where it's I'm a job seeker and I'm a recruiter. And then there's another like access demo, and I really don't know what the demo is going to do for me. So if you insist on people having access to that demo, I might consider placing this lower on the page where it's below what we call below the fold. So you only want to have kind of like a single call to action above the fold where it's getting people to click either this or this. And if you want them to check out your demo, I might place it lower on the page. So placing it a little bit lower where people can click the actual demo, like what you see, check out the demo now, and they can click to see the actual demo. Let me see if there's any feedback in the chat. Okay, and so not sure if you guys in the chat have any feedback on this. I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this page too. Specifically, I mean, like I was saying, this design could work a lot better if it was just a little bit more well balanced. Just put a few more elements towards the right side, or remove this. I mean, highly what I might recommend is remove this and just center your introducing higher self, like center this complete section. Okay, let's go ahead and move on a little bit. Okay, and I know that, I mean, I do know this tool Sniply. It's kind of like a traffic tool. If you're not seeing a real result out of this, I would consider removing it, especially from like a home page, because it just feels, I don't know, it just feels a little bit weird. I would consider placing the Sniply like on my blog page where I actually do have content living, where there's articles, but like placing the Sniply like the sharing, because it's mainly like a sharing widget. Placing that Sniply sharing widget feels slightly out of place, and unfortunately it creates a call to action which drives people away from your site and to Sniply. So that's not necessarily something that you want. So consider removing this completely. It'll make your page feel a little bit cleaner, and I mean, you won't be driving people away from your page. Let's take a look at the amazing features. Now, specifically like these amazing features, I don't like the headline. Reason being is because people want, I mean, people are mainly reading like the actual headlines. If they see something good in the actual headline, they'll keep reading the rest of the copy. And currently this is just too general. It's like telling people this is the list of our amazing features. Why don't you be a little bit more specific and tell people, okay, let me see if I can grab some copy from here. It might say like, just listing out basically a sentence that's talking a little bit about the features that's going to drive people to actually read into the actual copy. I'm looking for some copy to pull out, but I can't necessarily pull out like a good headline. But just placing, like I mentioned, a good strong headline that's not so general like this list of amazing features, that's not really going to work for getting people to continue reading on. And this is actually kind of good where you're saying like, okay, I mean, this is somewhat good. I would maybe just bring these these sub headlines a little bit, like make them a little bit longer, bring in more text where you're saying real-time questions where you can, let's see, no mainstream algorithmic questions. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like no mainstream algorithmic questions. You simplify your text too. It just feels like a little bit too, this section mainly, I mean, it just feels a little bit too technical. So make sure that it's not technical. Make sure that it's like really, really broad-based, especially for the job seekers. I mean, it really depends what kind of traffic you're driving to this page. If it's people that are going to be developers and designers, then maybe you can use that kind of text. If not, I would simplify this text. Get judged by your real skills. I mean, the rest of the page looks pretty good. I like this section for job seekers. Get judged by your real skills. No resumes. So I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's nothing that's like hard for me to understand from that. For recruiters, I might consider putting this like same little list of like benefits here for the recruiter section, so it looks very similar. And yeah, like I mentioned, change this to the demo. And if you insist on having a job seeker recruiter call to action, put it at the very bottom. And also kind of wondering, like, why do you have a contact us page? Like, do you have a lot of people contacting you? I would consider placing the contact us page on a separate page itself. So that's something for you to consider. And let me see what happens when I do sign up. Let me see if there's anything that happens when I click. All right, so it takes me to this like weird Snipply URL, and it takes me to what I believe is a Typeform page. So not the greatest strategy. I mean, you want to keep people on your page, and you want to keep people like 100% on your brand. And right now I'm seeing like two separate brands that just make this experience feel a little bit weird. Let's see what happens when I actually sign up. Hey Izzy, all right, this is going to be my email address. Your mobile, it's that one for now. Where do I live? Oh man, so you have all these like form fields, and like for some reason it just feels out of place. It would feel, I mean, it's okay to ask these questions, especially if these are questions that you need on your form field to actually like pre-qualify people that are signing up on your site. But it would feel more like it would feel more consistent if this was placed directly on your site. If I was living, I mean, if that page was still living on hiresolve.com. But I mean, other than that, it seems like a pretty good page. Make a couple of changes, and you should be getting good results. And yeah, I mean, let us know if you have any comments in the chat. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Yep. So Mario, we have somebody in the chat called UCF Fool. Mario's along with us. He actually is one of the people that provide a lot of feedback. So really appreciate you being in the chat and providing that feedback for our customers too. So let's go ahead and move on to Ryan's page. We're going to be moving on to the Griffin Group. So so taking a look at this page, it seems like another hiring one, so it's pretty cool. So it's contracting workforce on demand. And I would consider this like a very specific landing page that you guys are driving traffic to. Looking at the URL, it looks super specific. So hopefully, if you are creating any kind of ads, they are driving people specifically to this page. I mean, using landing page, actually, if you are, that's a great strategy, because just as a best practice for everybody in the chat, using landing pages is one of the best ways, obviously, to pre-qualify customers and to get them to actually sign up. But if you're using like ads, for example, just to drive people to your home page, it's not really going to work that well for you, because usually home pages, they don't have that like super highly targeted message that landing pages can have. So if you are using any kind of paid ads, I highly recommend creating some simple landing pages with a really strong call to action. Like this one, this has a really, really strong call to action, a big request quote button, boom. I'll get into a couple things like as far as details of the page, but it looks as if they're using paid ads to drive people specifically to these pages. If I'm wrong, let me know, but looks like a pretty good strategy. So there is this big, strong call to action here, which I love. Request a quote. I also love this secondary call to action, which is the call, because especially for certain kinds of businesses, either getting people to request a quote or actually call in has the same type of value for them. So they actually get to have contact with their customer. So this is a great strategy. Something that's slightly throwing me off though is the blue, like hiring has never been easier. Trust us to scale your contracting workforce on demand. For some reason, I feel that that's calling a lot of my attention, almost the majority of my attention, since I mentioned that most of us read from the left to the right. So I mean, so the first thing that really calls my attention is the strong logo. Griffin Group looks professional. Okay, so I'll keep on reading. The best source for IT contractors. I'll get into the copy and why I like to avoid using the best. But this hiring has never been easier feels like a call to action for some reason, and I kind of did want to click it, but nothing happened. If it was like, if it's a customer quote, which kind of feels like a customer quote, well, actually not like a customer quote, but like a founder quote, I would link it a little bit more to the actual founder. You've seen that there's like those little, I forgot what those little boxes are called, but it's like a little ellipsis box where you put, where it's kind of attached to the actual customer. We're saying, okay, this customer is actually saying it, or maybe putting some little quotes around it. Just make it feel a little bit more like a customer quote, and make it feel slightly less like a call to action. I was going to mention that why I prefer to avoid using the best. Generally, I mean, using headlines like the best, the number one platform for, the number one solution, that tends to be a little bit too general, and since you're getting people to your page already, I mean, it's a good strategy to just try to educate them as to specifically why you are the best. What differentiates you from your competitors, and that's specifically what I like to put here, as opposed to just putting a very general the best or number one or those kind of keywords. And if you are using paid ads, guess what? Those keywords like best, number one, those cost you more money. When you're bidding on those keywords, they are going to cost you more cost per conversion, CPC, more. I mean, basically it'll cost you more to target keywords like the best and number one and all those kind of general keywords. So I like to avoid using them. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the page. So we specialize in solving your staffing problems. All right. And it's contracting workforce. So specifically, like what kind of, we understand how staffing problems can affect your business. That's why we listen to what our clients want and build a foundation for your staffing success. Our co-sourcing process elements, traditional HR. All righty. I mean, this is a pretty good, this is a really good benefit that you guys are eliminating the traditional HR headaches. I might call this out a little bit more, like this really strong copy. There's a couple, I think there's a tool. Let me look up a quick tool. I believe this is what they're called, Groove HQ. They do something not similar to you, but it's kind of like just telling people, oh, I think they changed their actual call to action. These guys seem to be testing something, but just calling out like how you're actually solving people's products. You're taking the headache out of the actual process. You're making sure that everything is in compliance with. I mean, that's a good strategy. Another good strategy that you're using on the page is having a landing page video. So I like the fact that you have this video. But just so you're aware, according to our own internal data, only about like 50 to 60% of people click on these landing page videos. So if you do have any like really important information about the actual company or about the process that's included in the video, be sure to include it on the actual page too. So any important copy in the video, place it on the page. That's a rule of thumb, because you only get, as I mentioned, only between 50 to 60% of people watching the video. So you should be catering to the other 50 to 40%. Okay. And our firm at a glance. All right. So you're providing some metrics for people to see, some trust metrics. So I like this. This is really cool. and IT functional areas. So this is where you're kind of diving into specifically what areas you guys are serving. So everything else looks pretty great. Place a contractor order online. Let's see if there's a call to action at the bottom. Awesome, great strategy. So you do have a call to action at the, like what seems to be at the very bottom. Actually, you're ending with testimonials. Pretty good strategy too. And prior to that, you have your dual call to actions too, which is request a quote via form or just call. So it's a pretty good strategy. This form field feels slightly overwhelming, but specifically for your business, it might work to actually convert people. You might want to try like experimenting, like, hey, you know what? Just fill out the form below, remove a couple form fields, like remove the annual contracting spend, or or the state province company revenue, just some of those like additional form fields that you could probably ask for a little bit later, that will make the form feel just a little bit less overwhelming, and hopefully will drive up your conversion rate a little bit. Or you can actually try driving the form in steps where it just feels that they're filling out like a single step. Let's see what happens. Okay, so first I'll fill out my name, company, email, and then from there it'll take me to another step, like showing me these additional steps. So hopefully it won't feel as a large form, and you'll get more conversions from it. So overall, it's a pretty good page. The styling of the page is also pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty professional. Another, like, something to actually mention, it just feels a little bit tight as far as design. Like there's not much header area here, not much header area. Like there's not much footer space here. So there's like the margin on your actual page is somewhat small. But if that's done purposely to kind of compress the page, then go for it. Other than that, I might just introduce a slightly bit more margin in certain sections of the page. But yeah, I mean, good luck with that, and hopefully you get some good conversions from that feedback. Look at. Okay, so we have a question from Patant Consult. So do landing page videos increase conversion? It depends on how you're actually using the actual landing page video itself. So there's a really strong trend in using background images. Background video. So you're having like a big video background playing in the background. That's a really strong trend, and those don't tend to convert very, very well. We have a template that's actually designed to do that. Let me show that for you. We have a video background template, but according to our own internal data, it doesn't work very well because it just kind of distracts people. Let it load for a sec. So you'll see that like we have a simple background, and it transitions to a video. Since I'm presenting, it's kind of slow, but those perform okay. But reason being that I mean, like, mainly I just wanted to point out that the video backgrounds don't perform that well because we have a lot of customers asking for those. But as I mentioned, they don't perform as well as maybe like a static image and placing a video directly on the page. So that can definitely help increase your conversions if the video itself is well produced. If it contains information that is also going to be found on the page. Like I mentioned, you're only going to get about 50% of people watching the page. Watching the actual video. So if you do decide to place a video on the page, just place the same information with like copy information on the page as well. I'm sorry if I'm speaking a little bit weird right now. I was a little distracted. Somebody was like distracting me, so I do apologize for that. So it looks like we have a whole bunch of more people in the chat. So I just want to remind everybody, if you did submit a page, please leave the URL within the chat so I could see that URL and so I can be sure to review it for you guys. Okay, so I'm seeing that there's a couple more. And yeah, okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to My Caribbean Family. So mycaribbeanfamily.net. And so the initial feedback on this page, it feels kind of like a personal website. That's the first thing that I get from this. And then the fact that the logo is kind of jumping around, it stays put for these two sections. And then on this one, it jumps here towards the top. It just feels a little bit weird design wise. Like the overall design of the page just feels a little bit off for some reason. And arriving on this page, I still don't know what it is. There's no copy at the top. There's only just the actual URL name or the company name, which is just My Caribbean Family, which is repeated in the actual logo. So I have no context as to what page is like, as to what this page is about. There's nothing for me to click on. I'm trying to click on things. Nothing here. The only thing that I can roughly see is just some social buttons, and that's it. There's some social buttons. That's pretty much it. So I'm just wondering, like, what is the offering of this page? What's the purpose of your landing page? I mean, usually landing pages do serve a purpose, whether that's to start building your audience or to educate an audience. Maybe you're having like a product offering landing page where you have a buy now button, but currently this just looks like a site where you could drive people to and have them click your social links, and that's about it. I mean, I would love to see some more information on this page as to what it's about. Maybe there's some, okay, so that's what I was thinking, that was the wrong page. Yeah, so this page needs to be updated. Let's take a look at the Launch Rock page then. TV talk show that tackles family life issues. Okay, so My Caribbean Family with an honest out of the box approach. Alrighty, so right now, like the overall copy, like still, like it's kind of a little bit more clear. A TV talk show that tackles family life issues, but it's not really telling me specifically what it is. Is it on a network television? Is this going to be like, am I going to be able to see this on cable TV? Where is it going to be on? Are you pitching this towards networks itself? Like, what's the purpose? Like, once again, I'm actually getting to that. Like, what's the purpose of your landing page? Is this to educate and to get email signups to sign up for the launch of the TV, like for consumers? Or, you know, I still don't know what the actual goal of this page is. So let's see. My Caribbean Family TV show gives practical tips to enhance family life, parenting. All right. I mean, looks like you guys are trying to provide a lot of value, so that's cool. I mean, providing as much value for your audience is always beneficial. You have your family. Welcome. We have My Caribbean Family Solutions. Sorry if it, like, I still don't know what this is. Episode 1 was awesome. Where can I see episode 1? Like, where is it published? Where can I, where can I get more taste of this? You should be like super specific. Looks like it's on Caravision, sorry about that. But like, you should be super specific. Like My Caribbean Family launching on so and so network this fall. Sign up to get issues, or sign up to get updates. You should really, I mean, if it really is like a TV show, you should really take heed as to what other networks are doing. I really like, for example, I mean, these are like the big boys, but I really like how HBO does like landing pages. Let me see if I can find one for you guys. Yeah, so this is one of their landing pages, like an Alzheimer's. They have Game of Thrones landing pages. So you kind of see, I mean, this is just a little bit too in depth, but no, and that's not really one of the specific ones. I've seen some like really specific HBO landing pages and like Showtime landing pages where it's 100% about the show. So you should try to look for similar industries that are doing things that you want to do, and kind of copy what they're doing, because really they have thousands and thousands of like marketing dollars that they're throwing at these landing pages, at these campaigns, in order to optimize them to get the maximum engagement from people visiting them and from your own viewers. So that might be a strategy that I would take, specifically since you're running like a TV show. And one of the things that I did want to mention is that the call to action feels awfully buried. Like, it is a strong call to action. It's really easy to see. If I step away from the page, I can still see it clearly on the page, but it's awfully buried. Like there's 1 section, 2, 3, it's not until the fourth section and I start scrolling that I see that call to action. So you might want to consider placing this form here as far up at the very top as possible. I mean, here is the perfect spot. Like sign up to get to get updates on the latest family life issues, like on the latest Caribbean family life issues or something like that. And so I mean, we were talking about landing page videos. This is a prime example of where a video of like episode 1 would go ideal. You would place the actual video here where people can like sign up and maybe get a sampling as to what it is. I mean, maybe not place the whole episode, but like place a sampling of what you guys are offering. And as far as design goes, like I'm not so crazy about this design. Like I know you're trying to give that Caribbean feel with the ocean background and maybe like the orangey hues, but it just like it feels slightly unprofessional. So consider minimizing the overall look of the page with like simple white, slightly orangey hues, like not dark orange like this, but a slightly less orangey hue, and it'll help make the page look a little bit more professional. And I kind of want to sign up on this page. I'm curious as to what happens. This looks like a pretty strong call to action to sign up. So I'll go ahead and do it. So thank you for signing up. Please share with your friends, family, and coworkers, or share this URL. All right. I mean, it looks like you're using a LaunchRock page, which is totally fine. I mean, LaunchRock is a pretty good platform. And when I share this link, it says Launch AR, which looks kind of weird, but that's okay. Takes me to your page, but here's kind of like the bad thing, like that I don't love about LaunchRock. I mean, it does generate social referral links just like Kickoff Labs does. Kickoff Labs can do the exact same thing, but you saw how it's just like a simple built-in message where it's just telling me, hey, thanks for signing up, and if you want to share, please do. There's no like real incentive for me to share. Placing some kind of actual incentive, driving people to actually share something where they can maybe earn a reward, or maybe they can like just earn some more praise, really helps a lot. So let me quickly show you guys something that Kickoff Labs can do, just in case you were not aware. There are something that are called viral thank you pages, which is something that makes Kickoff Labs unique, where you can like basically create thank you pages where people are redirected after they sign up. So they might be sent over to this like rewards level page where they could start earning rewards for inviting friends. If I get 5 friends to sign up, I might get a like X prize. If I get 10, I might get another one. These reward levels are completely customizable. So, I mean, just to give you an idea of how you can use thank you pages to kind of like just keep your campaign consistent and just keep driving those warm leads to take additional action. Because like this is a good strategy, but it just feels a little bit bare. It's just like, all right, thank you for signing up, and you're still on the same page, and it's repeated twice on this page. It just feels a little bit odd. Just using a different strategy in your campaign might give you a little bit more better performance from the campaign. So hopefully that was some good feedback. And let me check in the chat if there's any comments. All right, awesome. So we got Mario answering a whole bunch. We got Mario answering a whole bunch of questions. So we have David saying don't use LaunchRock. It's terrible to design with. You know what? I might agree. LaunchRock has really gone down as far as like service and as a platform. They used to be really good. Honestly, I mean, I would praise them, and if customers wanted like a different solution, I would most definitely send them over to LaunchRock. But they were purchased by some big startup company, some big corporation, and they've really gone downhill, unfortunately. So if I know that Kickoff Labs isn't the ideal design tool to work with, like we don't have a drag and drop designer just yet. We're actually, I shouldn't be mentioning this, but it will be released very soon. I can't say when, and I shouldn't be mentioning it, but anyways, but just in case like you wanted to bring in your own custom design to Kickoff Labs, like you don't specifically need to use our own landing pages. You can always bring in any other third-party landing page. Like let's say I found a cool landing page on ThemeForest, This is what I tell a lot of customers to do. Go to ThemeForest, marketing, landing pages, and I can literally bring in any one of these landing pages to Kickoff Labs. I mean, you're not limited by our own designs. We just want to give you guys some kind of designs to actually start with. But if you wanted to bring in a third-party design, like from ThemeForest or like Wrap Bootstrap, like purchase already a pre-made design where you just add in your own content and that's it. So I could bring in like one of these. That's really easy to do. And let me show you how to do that. That's using something that's called the Anyform. So literally this will let you connect any third-party page to Kickoff Labs and get access to those social referrals we were talking about. You can redirect people to the thank you pages where you can offer reward levels, wait lists, all kinds of really cool stuff to help build your customer list virally. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that. And Donna, so thanks a lot. No, thank you for submitting your page, and glad to hear that you're learning about landing pages. We have guest 5622 asking, does landing page targeting, do a landing page targeting each of the value props you're offering in your, oh, okay, he's actually telling people, yes, do a landing page targeting to each of the, yes, actually that's a pretty good strategy. Like the more granular you're actually getting as, when you're creating your actual campaigns and your landing pages and your ads and all that, the better performance you're going to get out of your campaigns. I mean, that's a given. If I'm creating just one ad and one landing page and I'm driving people to that, like I'm driving all kinds of these just targeted customers, I guess, to that page, it's not going to perform as good as it was like dedicated campaigns, dedicated ads, dedicated copy driven specifically towards that people, towards those different personas that that guest 5622 is mentioning. So thanks a lot for that feedback. Super awesome. Okay, so let me go ahead and move on to the next page. I believe it's NurtureBox. NurtureBox. So we're looking at nurturebox.co.New Zealand, NZ. So I like the design, really simple, really cool. It's like simple, straightforward. One thing that I might consider doing, okay, so how I was, you'll notice that we got this bounce exit intent that popped up. That was because I was attempting to scroll away from the page and pick up my little tool here. But notice how this exit intent popped up. This is another tool unique to Kickoff Labs, which is basically going to pop up a form telling people, hey, before you leave the page, why don't you check out our actual campaign. So I like how they customize the copy. It says sign up now and be in to win an entire year of free toys. If that's the way they speak in New Zealand, great. If not, I might consider just cutting the actual copy. Sign up now and enter to win an entire year of free toys. Be the first to know when we launch. Okay, so at this point, like you're still telling people, be the first to know when we launch. That's something I kind of like avoid. I prefer avoid telling people, because what you're telling customers by letting them know that, like, all right, so we'll let you know when we launch. It's kind of telling them like we're not ready yet. So you can try coming back later and this offer will still be valid. So removing that, like, be the first to know when we launch, kind of just ups the urgency just a little bit more and makes it feel as if, like, okay, if I don't sign up for this offer, I might not have the chance to actually do it now. So just remove this, be the first to know when we launch. That really helps a lot. You can tell people that you're not ready yet, but I might just do that, like using the follow-up emails and like the rest of the actual campaign to let people know that, okay, we're not ready yet, but you've already signed up and you've already entered to win that free year of toys. One thing that I was going to mention, like design-wise, I believe this is one of our themes, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is. You might consider just optimizing your image just a little bit. You can either like change the actual image or contact our support team. Just email support@kickofflabs.com and we'll be glad to make this change for you. But it says like NurtureBox and you're selling toys, but for some reason, like the toys are still kind of hidden. I like the fact that there's a photo, like a face on the page of this toddler. It looks really, really good. But like the value prop, which are the toys, feel somewhat hidden still here at the bottom. So I'm gonna consider just making the image slightly smaller as far as height dimensions, or contacting our support team where we can make this overall section just a little bit taller, where we can properly show the entire image. Okay, but just so you're aware, I mean, even if we did make this section a little bit taller, since the page is meant to be mobile responsive, it's going to look a little bit different on different devices. So see how I'm kind of, oh, sorry about the back, but see how it's kind of like just changing just a little bit. So consider that that it's going to look different on different devices. So just optimizing the image a little bit to be perhaps a little bit more centered would work better than us making it like larger. So just a bit of feedback. I love the headline, "Spoil Them Smarter." That's an amazing headline. You really don't need to say much. Like, I usually tell people to like add more copy where it starts to make sense, but this is kind of like simple to the point. Spoil them smarter, and then you actually kind of go into the actual copy. You want to give them everything. Now you can feel good about it. NurtureBox is a subscription that delivers expert pick toys. All right, like expert pick toys, what kind of experts? Are these like child psychology experts? Are these like, you know, what kind of experts? I would like to know. Designed around a child's age and developmental needs. So I might like, I mean, let's see if you talk a little bit more about the like experts here in the next section. But other than that, it's pretty good copy. The headline is great. The design is great. See how simple, clean, and minimal this is. I want like everybody else in the chat to notice this. It just makes it feel really simple, clean. The call to action though just feels like, for some reason, I know that you're trying to use like the same blue as in your logo, but like like for some reason, I feel that the blue could be a little bit stronger here on your call to action and not the same color as your links, because they're kind of like asking for the same kind of attention. So maybe just making this a stronger blue, or maybe even a black color. I mean, black, like a big strong black button, would contrast against the page. Something that contrasts stronger against the page. That would probably work a little bit better. And sign up and be in to win an entire year of free toys. So you are repeating that same copy that you have in your bounce exit intent. So it's a good strategy. So, and one thing to note is your call to action text, it's like get invited. But in reality, I'm not really signing up to get invited. I'm signing up to enter to win a free year. So I would just change the actual copy to make it more focused towards the action that people are taking on the page, which is enter to win. So instead of get invited, maybe enter to win, enter now, you know, something like that. So let's go and sign up. And before that, let's take a look if anybody has any comments already. NurtureBox. Okay, so I'm sent to a NurtureBox thank you, which is a really nice URL. I like the URL. NurtureBox. For some reason, like this, I might consider making the logo a little bit bigger, which I wouldn't recommend, but like there's some like little tagline here which is hard to read. If you have another logo, which I'm sure you do because it's placed on the other page, place that on this page so there's not this like little tiny text, because you wouldn't want to make this logo bigger, because what's going to happen is it's going to drive the rest of the page down, which you don't really want, because you want to have as much as you can above the fold. So consider that. I might even consider removing the top section, because I believe this this theme lets you remove this top section entirely and placing your logo right above this child's head, which you can easily embed an image, and it'll make the page do this basically, which is bringing up everything above the fold. You can clearly see the steps now, like they're not kind of hidden. I can roughly see the steps 1, 2, 3, but here, once it's kind of driven up a little bit higher, I can clearly see these steps. So like it. I like this picture too, the baby with the thumbs up. That's awesome. It's giving you personality. Hey, I'm kind of like making like a little angel. Oh, look what I made. So it's giving your page personality, but I would love to see like the actual copy have a little bit more personality. Like maybe like your baby thanks you. Like you know, hopefully hopefully your child will get the chance to win the free toys. You know, just playing up the bit that you guys are giving away that free year of toys. Like, oh my gosh, he's going to spend so much time playing, blah blah blah, something like that. Just giving it slightly more personality would probably just make it feel a little bit more fun, because you're saying because the fun is just beginning. So so make it more fun. I mean, it's totally okay to make campaigns fun, engaging, be playful with your copy. People are going to love that. People will. We've seen data that proves that campaigns with personality outperform those that are just stale and just kind of give people steps like do this and do this and do that. So let's see what's happening over here. Invite your friends and unlock special prizes. Okay, so you're not really mentioning the free year toy. Oh, actually you are. Okay, here it is. The more friends you win, the more entries you get into winning an entire year of free toys. But you're not mentioning the discount. So I mean, I might consider telling people like, okay, unlock special prizes and discounts, because that's something that you are missing. People could get 5% off their order, 10%. They get their first box free. There's a lot of additional things that you could win. So so be sure to like tell people here at the very top, because a lot of people might see just these steps 1, 2, 3, and they'll say, okay, 0 friends have joined. I'm gonna close this page. But make sure that that you're telling them. Be sure to see everything on the page. There's more on the page for people to see. And since this is a Kickoff Labs page, let me go ahead and test the Facebook share. Let's see what happens when I click on Facebook. So I'm seeing a Spoil Them Smarter with NurtureBox. I like the headline. I'm not seeing the image up here. So hopefully you have attached a Facebook share image. Highly, highly recommended. Add a Facebook share image, optimize this Facebook share message. Let's see, you want to give them everything. It looks like you're just putting like the actual copy, that you have on your landing page here. I would compress it, because this feels like a lot of copy that most people aren't going to read. So I would just focus like sign up for updates, not mention the launch, and win a year of free toys. Like focus more on the contest aspect. That's how you're going to get a lot more people signing up by merely focusing on the contest as opposed to the launch aspect. And if you're probably saying in the chat, I did add an image, but I can't see it. Facebook is funny in that the first person to actually share is not going to see the first Facebook share message. So we have an article, which I'll go ahead and share in the chat. It's how to create high converting social share images. And there's some good examples here at the very bottom too. So kind of like providing some pretty good examples as to how to get people to click on your images and on your social share message. But just so you're aware, when content is shared for the first time, I want to point this out, Facebook has to see the image once before sharing it. So you could use the Facebook sharing debugger found in this article too, to make sure that anybody sharing that will always see the share message. So let me go ahead and place that in the chat. Yeah, David. So if you did attach that image, be aware that Facebook never grabs the first share. That's just how it works. Like you have to cache the image, and you could use that tool provided in that article to pre-cache the image. Okay. And let's go ahead and move on to, I believe it was Yoga Totems. And kind of slightly running out of time. So we already reviewed My Caribbean Family, so I'm not going to have a chance to provide additional feedback on that other page. I do apologize. Go ahead and review it for our next reviews, which should be happening in about 2 weeks. So happy to review it then. And we have Ryan's. Okay, here's okay, so actually they're looking at the templates. All righty. Thanks, David, for providing that template. It was David, right? Ryan, thanks, Ryan. So let's go ahead and we might be able to get to Mojobs, but get card for sure we will. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Awesome. So Yoga Totems. And looks as if I was kind of scrolling around too, so that's why I got the pop-up here. So it looks like a bounce exit intent. Once again, actually, I love the fact that this other customer looks like they're Kickoff Labs customer too, that they're using their own custom URL. I mean, like their own custom domain name, which is highly important to get the highest conversion rate possible. I mean, you guys saw earlier that we were looking at a LaunchRock page, which was published on the LaunchRock domain. We were looking at another page that led people to like a Sniply page and a Typeform page. You want to make the campaigns completely branded around your business. I mean, fully branded, where people aren't just like wondering, hey, you know, this doesn't feel professional. This feels a little bit weird. When it's 100% about your brand, it just flows better. So looking at the Bounce Exit test, says join the Animal Yoga Tribe and get entered to win a free yoga mat by Yoga Totems. Cool. So I still don't know what Yoga Totems is. Like, just in case I didn't have chance to read the copy on the landing page, this copy still doesn't like really simplify it. I don't know really what it is. I might switch these things like this copy around, where instead of saying like join the Animal Tribe first, you're first telling people enter to win a free Yoga Totems yoga mat, and then like telling people, all right, so enter to win and sign up to be part of the Animal Yoga Tribe. Because actually that's a really great strategy, like building your own tribe. That's an awesome strategy, because people love feeling as if they're part of a movement. People want to feel like included in their own special little niche. They want people like they want to know that there's people like them. And if you're trying to create like their own little area online or their own brand that they can identify with, that is super awesome. I mean, there's countless customers that have really focused on kind of like building what we call an audience of raving fans. But I mean, ultimately, it is your own personal tribe, like your own business tribe. That works great. So I love the fact that you're like telling people join the tribe, but instead of focusing solely on join the tribe, like I said, I would switch that around, make it get your free mat, and in the process, you'll be joining our awesome tribe. A little bit of feedback. The background image makes the love to Mother Earth not very legible, so you might want to consider using a different background image that's a little bit more that has a little bit more fade to it. You can do that like using one of the tools. Using one of the tools I included in the Facebook's like in the guide to high converting images post. You'll find some tools that you can use to like make some small edits to your images. So lots of great online tools. You don't have to use Photoshop. I mean, Photoshop's really hard to use. There's some other tools that you could use that make like fading your images and optimizing them really easy. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, what's the love to Mother Earth copy about? Like, how does it apply to the campaign? Yes, I love Mother Earth. I myself love Mother Earth. I'm a vegetarian. You know, there's a lot of things that I try to do to to make sure that Mother Earth is taken care of. But how does this apply specifically to your campaign? If it's like about your tribe, then make it more about your tribe, like telling people like the Animal Tribe loves Mother Earth, something like that. Cool. So let's close this out. And yoga totems. All right. Eco-friendly yoga mats that connect you to your power animal. Awesome. I mean, makes sense. I'd love to see an example of it, like on the page. Like, how are these different? Are these actual mats? I mean, if these are, like, actually, that's what I'm thinking, that these are the actual mats. So that's pretty cool. Like letting people know specifically what those are. But I might try to like call them out a little bit, like maybe placing the eco-friendly yoga mats that connect to your power animal below the yoga totems, and like the actual yoga mats below that copy. I don't know, like I know that this theme won't do that, because actually this theme is just a little bit different, but you can, something that I really recommend, especially for like new campaigns, is to A/B test against two highly different variations of your theme. I mean, running an A/B test is a given. I mean, you always want to be optimizing your campaign in any way possible. So one of the best ways to do that, especially like I said in the very beginning, is to try two totally different variations of the page, where one is one design, the other one is a completely different design. So just experiment with that. I might experiment with using like a white design, like a white background, and a different theme, where you could talk about like a little bit more about, like, I guess, features about the actual yoga mats. I mean, I'm kind of wondering like what kind of material they're made out of, what dimensions. I mean, maybe just like those kind of like little facts that people want to know. Kind of like provide that, not necessarily on this page, but using a different variation of the page, and obviously go with the one that performs the best. Let me read the rest of the copy. It says, join the tribe and be entered to win a free mat. and receive ways to connect with your to your spirit animal. That's actually kind of cool. I mean, that seems as if that you guys are going to be providing maybe like via email newsletters information on people's spirit animals, or just additional information on the actual product, like the overall lifestyle. But like I mentioned in your bounce eggs intent, I would switch this to like tell people, okay, enter your email to Winterfree Matt, join the tribe in the process, and get tips to and receive tips to how to connect with your spirit animal. I mean, other than that, it's a pretty good campaign. It is somewhat minimal, but looks pretty good. I'm kind of wondering too, like, what are you trying to do specifically? Are you trying to build leads for a crowdfunding campaign? Excuse me, for a crowdfunding campaign? Is this a product that's already built? Like, is this already deliverable? Let's see what happens. Sign up now. Alrighty, so thanks for joining the Yoga Animal Tribe. Invite friends and earn some cool prizes. Alrighty, looks like this page still needs a little bit of customization, because I'm seeing like our default logo, which is just this one. You could like, in case you don't want those sections, you could still remove it from the page designer general tab, like the left side general tab. You'll see some check boxes that that'll say show sections, so you can choose to hide that section if you don't want to. And yeah, I mean, looks as if you're placing, like, you're trying to run this like a contest. I mean, that's cool that you're like running a contest. People can like earn prizes. You have these prize levels. Just a little bit of feedback, like on the actual prize levels. Okay, so according to our own internal data, we get a lot of people asking, what's an ideal prize level, like reward level, for my campaigns. You want to try to like make sure that reward levels feel attainable. So like, if I signed up on this campaign and the first like prize level is for me to try to get 22 people to sign up, I'm not sure if I can really do that. Like, at this point, I can try, but it's going to be really hard. So, I mean, specifically, since you have people that are warm leads already, you have to kind of provide some kind of prizes for those lower level rewards. So people that are sharing like 2 to 3, which according to our internal data are the majority of people. I mean, most people only get about like 2 to 3 to 4 people, maybe 5 people bring in about that many people to your campaign. I mean, which is great. I mean, that's already like a 500% boost, 300% boost, which is great. But you like make sure that you're providing those kind of reward levels for those lower levels, so people feel as if that they're getting something in return. You can always have those higher reward levels, like the 100, 300. We've seen levels that go that high, and we've seen people that reach those levels. But make sure that you are providing reward levels for each level. So those people that can only get some people to your campaign, those other people that can get like 30 to 50 people, and those people that can get over 100 people to your campaign. So it looks good. Alrighty, so I don't have too much time, so let's go ahead, and we have Mario providing a whole bunch of information. You're awesome, Mario. Thanks a lot. Yeah, actually, I like Donna's advice, like naming the mats, like monkey mat, wolf mat. That would make it feel like more like the actual product. Because right now it just seems like like just an image, like a background image. So I like Donna's idea of like naming them, like turtle mat, monkey mat. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, you can't seem to remove the header from the rewards. You should be able to do it via a checkbox. If you're having some like trouble removing some of that stuff from the template itself, please send an email to support@kickofflabs.com, and we can help figure that out for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on. This is going a little bit long. We should be ending in about a minute, but we can go a little bit long. That's okay. So we're looking at get cards, rewards made simple, save on every purchase by maximizing your credit card rewards. And if I'm not mistaken, we might have seen this page before, but let's go ahead and review it as well. It's still kind of vague as to like what kind of rewards is it credit card rewards? Is it shopping rewards? What kind of rewards specifically are they made simple? And save on every purchase. Oh, okay, yeah, duh. by maximizing your credit card rewards. And you have this little credit card image. So it should be clear. I mean, see how clear it should be, but placing like credit card rewards made simple. That would really kind of like make it 100% clear. Like, oh, okay. The headline is what, you know, that's telling me what the value prop is, and I don't really need to read on, and I know, and I don't need to figure it out myself. But like looking at the little credit card here and reading like till the very end where it says credit card rewards. So make sure that it's really simple. And I like that it's like a really minimal page at the very top, but for some reason, I just feel like it's lacking information. I mean, you could place a lot more information here at the very top as to how you're actually going to be making the process simple, and how I'm going to be saving money on every purchase. I like that, that you follow up with big retailers. Like, okay, so this is, you know, these are the places that you can get your deals on. So that's really awesome. It kind of like helps close that curiosity loop for me, I guess, where it's telling me, okay, this is specifically the places where I can get deals on, or the places where I can get rewards. Maximize rewards as you shop, find better deals on daily purchases. All right, I mean, it looks like it's gotten really great. You have a video on the page, as I've mentioned many times before. If there is some really important information, like copy within the actual video, it should be placed on the page too. So I'm not going to play the video, but that's my feedback. And I mean, looks pretty good. But I mean, what I might consider even doing is placing the video at the very top. So grabbing this, like, not saying how it works, because that's just way too general, but like saying get card works by helping you save that, but placing the video section towards the very top. So placing it all the way up here, maybe like underneath the call to action, above the call to action, maybe even creating a left and right, like a dual column header, where you have your where you have your form on one side and your video on another, something like that. I mean, something where if I want more information instantaneously, I could get it. And the fastest way to do that is with the video. So placing the video at the top might get you slightly better conversions. Obviously, any kind of advice that we're providing, you should always be A/B testing it. I mean, unless I tell you change this now because this is not really going to work for you, you should be A/B testing it. So, and there's this little distracting button, kind of calling my attention. What's happening here? I click it once, and it's like, let's chat. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of good that you have like a little chat box here. I might experiment just like removing it also. If you're getting a lot of people using that chat, like that actual chat box, like a lot of people are actually engaging with that, then go for it. Keep it on the page. Otherwise, I might consider removing it, plain and simple. But yeah, it looks like this page has really improved. Let's go ahead and see what happens when I sign up. Thank you. Cut the line. Get card first. That's a really nice page. Share card with a friend. No. I would tell them share card with friends, to be, because I mean, yes, you want that like at least 50% like extra referral, which is an additional person, but I mean, you want to get more people brought onto your campaign. So share card with friends and be part of and get early access to the beta product. Yeah, I would really cut this copy down. Like, it just feels a little bit too long for me to actually just read it. Just cut it down. Share card with friends and get early access to the beta. We'll email you a sign-up code when we're ready to launch. All right. Alrighty. Really, turning off your ad blocker. I've really never had, we never had problems with this, but I mean, it's kind of interesting that you're telling people turn off your ad blocker in case you can't see those share buttons. But I'm kind of wondering, like, what's the incentive for me to share with friends? Like, it's great that you have this viral loop built in, but you're not really going to get great results out of it unless you have some kind of like real incentive to actually invite people. You're using, I believe, which is like our minimal thanks. You might consider using our waitlist page. Like, we have a waitlist thank you page, which actually tells people, okay, kind of provides a little bit more urgency too. I'll show you that one. You've probably very likely already seen it, but I'm gonna get you some pretty good results because it's going to show people. And now this is like a really minimal version. You can still place a background image. You could do all that pretty stuff to it, but it's going to tell people, okay, so you are waitlist number this. This is how many people are in line after you, like, okay, like, well, after or ahead of you, whatever. Technically you could change that, the actual copy, but it's going to like show people numbers like, oh, okay, this is how many people I need to refer in order to ensure my early access code, and this is how many people I've actually referred. So, just placing these like numbers and these metrics in front of your public is really going to help like build that urgency and tell people, oh, well, I want to be, I want to be the first one to actually get access, and it's really easy for me to start sharing with like 3 friends. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely consider using a different landing page. This looks really great, looks really clean and minimal. And if you really wanted to, I mean, we have in-house customization services that in case you wanted to like create a combination of it, we don't have them available, but we can, but I mean, you can always ask our in-house customization team to create like a different kind of thank you page variation for you. There is a fee for that, just so you're aware. It's not free of charge, but in case you wanted to just customize the thank you page and you have the resources to, we're most definitely available. Alrighty, so lastly, done a lot of talking. Lastly, I believe this is the last page. So, and I'm kind of just going to quickly go through this one because I believe we already reviewed one by Patent Consultant. So, I wanted to let everybody know in the chat, in case you have a page and have been here, not just showing up right now, and I haven't reviewed your page, Mario. If you're available, let me know if there is anybody. I believe that I already reviewed everybody's page. So yeah, so Mojobs, get cards. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and move on with the final one. So mojobs.kickoffpages.com. As I mentioned earlier, using your own custom domain URL is going to always drive your conversion rate because you won't get curious looky-loos doing this. What's Kickoff Pages? Oh, and it's driving me to a different website. I mean, we appreciate you driving traffic to us, but and by doing that, it just closed your exit intent. So I do apologize, but it looks as if the exit intent really wasn't customized. So Mojobs, the smartest and fastest way to hire a professional. From architecture to zoning engineer, we have you covered. All right, like the image, like doesn't really reinforce. Like, yes, it kind of like reinforces kind of like the architecture, but it doesn't reinforce the zoning engineer. I mean, I see a gardener, which doesn't, like I said, doesn't really reinforce the professionality of maybe a zoning engineer might portray. So something that we mentioned earlier would be consider creating different landing pages for each of your segments. So maybe just like one segment specifically, like one landing page specifically for the architecture segment, where you're having like an image of an architect with some blue pens. I'm sorry, with some blue plans here and on a desk, and that would also apply for a zoning engineer. So just making it like a little bit more about the actual service being offered, I guess. Reading into the copy. Selecting professionals now hassle-free. Yeah, this is just like super general. Like I don't love using like the smartest and fastest. It's now hassle-free. Like specifically, what is happening? Like how are you actually doing it? Yes, you are taking the headache away, but the headache away from where? Like from HR or from what problem specifically are you solving? The stress and hassle of finding professional for product is finally over. Okay, with your project available. Yeah, I mean, this is talking about like features. Like, don't like it. It's good to mention features, but when you're solving problems, that's really going to help make the difference in getting people to actually convert. Because people are going to come to the page and they're going to say to themselves like, oh, okay, finally a solution for my specific problem, as opposed to, oh, okay, I mean, I could check this 24/7 online. Cool. I mean, most web apps can do that. So yeah, I mean, consider the copy that you're actually using on the page to be super specific. Service features, be super specific. Tell people, okay, I mean, this is what Mojobs can do for you. Like Mojobs is going to bring down the resources that you spend on HR. And it's going to help you do it by doing this. List your project, review your responses, hire you professional. I mean, yeah, just make sure that that's optimized. Your customer quotes, I mean, I like the fact that you do have customer quotes, but make them feel a little bit more like customer quotes. Placing an image, let's just put a happy face of some guy here. Placing an image is really going to help like with the actual customer testimonial. So like placing an image of John T and of Sylvia, not linking, but just like a static image, it's going to help like make your testimonials feel more real. Other than that, I mean, it looks like a decent page. Using a paid Kickoff Labs account is also going to help increase your overall conversion rate. So, I mean, we do appreciate the free publicity, but I mean, just having it 100% about your business is always going to work better. So let's go ahead and do something. I'll sign up. See what happens. Okay, so I'm sent to what looks like our basic thank you page. Just thanks for your interest. We got your back covered. It looks like you're having some kind of personality, but this campaign seems to be like still in process. Focus on providing real value. How are you solving people's problems? And be sure to to include some kind of incentive. That goes for everybody here in the chat. Include some kind of incentive for people to actually sign up. So whether that's like enter to win, enter to get a free resource, like I can like tell people, all right, sign up for a free like a PDF or free ebook, and it could just be like a really simple resource where you're telling people sign up for this free resource, and it's going to help to get people to sign up. So that's what I would consider the sign up incentive. And after you get people to actually sign up, you have to consider like the sharing incentive. How are you going to get people to actually share with friends? Whether that's offering some kind of discount, telling people if you share with friends, you'll get early access, something like that. So be sure to consider both the sign up and the sharing incentive. Okay. Sometimes they can be combined, but something for you all to consider. So having said that, we're coming to the closing of our, you know what, we didn't do that last page, but I did not see it submitted. We're gonna have I'll have a quick couple minutes because actually we're closing this off, but let's go ahead and review this. So ONCFO, looking at the last landing page for today, simple, powerful SaaS financial planning. Okay. Looks like, I mean, I guess it's somewhat straightforward, but I feel that there's like a sub-headlining that's missing from the section. Usually I do like to see something that is this page is kind of weird because it's not letting me load my tool, my page marker tool. Yeah, it looks like it has some kind of like weird JavaScript here on this page. Anywho, so yeah, there's all kinds of funky animations. That's what's going on. And sometimes that conflicts. So so first, let me go ahead and mention. So I would first consider adding the sub headline just to kind of clarify your value proposition. I mean, it's simple, powerful SaaS financial planning, but what else comes with it? I mean, what else is included with the product? What else, like, how are you solving that problem specifically with the product? Be more specific. Be a lot more specific. The form feels a little bit off because the button sizing is just a little bit bigger than the actual form field. It just, I don't know, it just feels weird. And then you're telling people like get early access. You're not telling me like there's no real incentive for me to sign up other than just like get early access. But it feels like, you know, it's already like a full-blown site. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, you guys already have some information. I would just like exclude telling people get early access and tell them, you know, sign up now. I mean, just make it feel like it's already an existing product. What people are saying. I mean, you're just telling people gain insight, save time. These are really general headlines. I like to read headlines that are more specific. So pull out some copy from here, from the paragraph text, and put it within the actual headlines. Because what's happening is only about 80%, only about 20% of people read the actual paragraph. So 80% of people will read headlines and sub-headlines. 20% of people will read the actual text. So make sure that you are providing enough information within your headlines and sub-headlines, so you get, you know, so the majority of those skimmers are understanding your product, and you are using testimonials, which is a good strategy. The picture here is included, awesome, but it's only a single testimonial. I mean, it's only like what people are saying. I would love to see maybe one or two, like 2 or 3 more testimonials, because right now it's just like what this one person is saying. Make it like populate this area with a couple more testimonials. Even if you don't have customer testimonials, consider this hack. We tell customers to use industry quotes. I mean, like, if you don't have customers at like current customers, you can always grab quotes from an industry influencer telling people like, okay, so specifically for your industry, SaaS financial planning is the future of SaaS accounting, or something like that. Some kind of quote that some major player within your industry has said, maybe not specifically about your company, but about your industry, and use that industry quote. That works really well. And you're talking about your integrations, okay, cool, I guess. Your software, yeah, I mean, just make sure that this page is a lot more about how you're actually solving their problem, and be a lot more specific too. And it's cool that you have these companies, but honestly, I've never heard of any of these. So yeah, I mean, consider removing these companies. And what happens when I click on them, I get this like weird like play button. Like I could just scroll through them. Images should never, like logos especially, should never be clickable. Like customer logos, no, I mean, they should never be clickable. So make sure that you change all of that. Let's go see what happens when I sign up. All right, so it looks like you have our Kickoff Labs Anyform attached to it, which is, I mean, you're halfway there. Looks like you basically just need to finish building out the rest of the campaign. Obviously, customize this page, make it a lot more about your business. Place your logo on the page. Logo here. See how I can use my tool simply here. On the other page was weird. a lot of JavaScript, a lot of jQuery going on. That's why. And I mean, this is the wait list that I was talking about. So it's a good strategy. You're telling people how I can get early access. Actually, you're not telling people. I mean, you're just telling, we've added your email to the sign up queue. And then it's not till like I see this, interested in priority access. I might move this section to like to the top. So just so people can maybe see, or just maybe reword the copy at the very top so people can clearly see. All right, share with friends. Like we've added your email address to the sign up queue. Now start sharing with friends. So that would be a good strategy. Okay. So yeah, looks pretty good. And I'd like to thank everybody for showing up to this week's landing page reviews. We'll have another live landing page review session in 2 weeks. So you can always sign up at kickofflabs.com/live and submit your page for our next reviews. Next week, we're actually doing a getting started. So in case you want to learn a little bit more about the product, in case you were here just visiting, and you saw that you're maybe using LaunchRock and maybe might not be the ideal tool, you want to switch over, we're having a pretty detailed demo next week. So I do invite you guys. And as I mentioned, you can always visit kickofflabs.com and check out the tool. In case you haven't signed up, please visit. We are the perfect tool to grow your email list with a viral campaign. And you could do this, as you saw, using our viral thank you pages. You could treat it like a contest. We're great for like pre-launches, for crowdfunding. Any way that you want to build your audience with the viral campaign, Kickoff Labs is the perfect tool to do so. So thank you very much, and we'll see you all again next week. Okay, have a great day. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and send an email to support@kickofflabs.com. Once again, I'm Izzy Palmerin, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.